So this here is exactly the reason why I haven't posted too many videos lately, because I've been pretty tied up. The first thing I did was draw it up on SketchUp. There were several iterations before we landed on this one, and with that, it was time to get to work. Have you ever driven down the road and see somebody that just put way too much stuff in the back of their truck and you wonder who would do that? Well, apparently I'm that guy. This wood was very heavy, but the old Ford made it home okay. So I went ahead and put some concrete in the ground and got these four corner posts in, and then got to work building a truss. Once I had one truss built, I just used that as a template to build two more. Then I got two more center posts in and put some temporary boards around the top to aid in getting the trusses up there. Then I ate a whole box of Wheaties and 2 cans of spinach and went out there and got these trusses up there by myself. It was no small feat, but I managed to get them up. After that, I added some horizontal 4x4s in between the post and put some corner bracing up for support. Then I added some purlins in the fascia boards, and it's starting to take shape. But just then a friend of mine called up and said the morels were popping here in Michigan, so it was time to go out and get a few. But enough playing, it was time to get back to work. So I got the two short posts in for the gate and then went ahead and got the roof on. And this is the part where the project got a lot more difficult for me. The intention was it was just an outdoor pavilion, but we decided to run power out there, so I dug a 70-foot trench by hand, hit a lot of roots on the way, but I managed to get the electricity out there. And then I did a whole bunch of landscaping, and I can't understate how much effort this was, but I pulled all the sod out, and I had to bring the front corner of the building up about 8 inches, put the sod back in. I had formed it up and prepped it with fill on the inside, and it's ready for concrete. And then the same friend that called me up about the mushrooms came over and helped me screed the concrete. Neither one of us are experienced at this, but we managed to get it pretty flat. After he left, I floated it and then troweled as it set up, and it didn't turn out half bad for a novice. But then it was time for another break. We went camping on Lake Superior in the Upper Peninsula, and I was looking for agates, and I found one here. And then spent a few more beautiful days up there, and the sun set on that vacation, and it was time to get back to work. So we have free-range chickens, and while we were camping, we realized that a half wall on this isn't going to work like the original design. So we're going to add poultry netting all over the top to keep the chickens out, and instead of a gate, a full-size door to keep them from pooping all over the inside of this. So you're never going to guess what I did next. Well, yeah, I added a half wall, poultry wire, and a door. Then I added the lighting my wife picked out. It's all cute, and it changes colors, and all that stuff women like. But then I got to add the lighting I wanted. Wait for it. Boom. That's what I'm talking about. Tell me that's not cooler than pretty color-changing lights. So here's a short clip of all it is in its finished glory. It's an outdoor cooking area, picnic area. There's a couple pizza ovens in there because, hey, who doesn't like pizza? And black stone and a grill, a little table. It's just a nice space. We talked about this for years, and it's finally come to fruition. So, hey, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.